Howdy champs, my name is Mohit, and guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a pure CSS navigation or a menu bar just the way that I've made. Have a look out here. We have 4 items, item 1, 2, 3 and 4. Of course we can have more than 4 items too, but it's not a drop down menu guys, it's just a pure CSS navigation or a menu bar. Okay, each item is separated by a border. Alright, you can have a look that we don't have a border on the extreme right and the extreme left. Okay, but the extreme right and the extreme left edges are actually rounded, for which I've used the CSS3 border radius property. Alright, so I haven't used any image at all to accomplish the rounding, and have a look out here in the CSS styles panel that I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rules to make this menu bar. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a pure CSS navigation bar in a different separate file that you can get a much better idea. I'm going to save a file in a new. Let me say the page type HTML, layout to be none. Let me select the doc type to be HTML5, which is the latest doc type. Let me hit create. Alright, let me save the file up after giving a title. So let me say pure CSS navigation bar. Cool. Right, let me save the file up. Let me call it pure CSS menu bar. Right, let's start guys. Let me click on the unordered list icon and then start typing in a few items. So that's item 1. Okay, let me go again. Item 1, item 2, item 3 and item 4. Of course I can have many more items, but I think for this tutorial these 4 items will be sufficient, will suffice. Right, next guys, let me make sure that I'm selecting everything between the opening and the closing UL tags, right? And then I'm going to go to insert. Basically I want to keep the unordered list inside a division. So go down to layer objects, go to div tag. Right, automatically the option wraparound selection is selected, which is just fine. Okay, let me give it a class name. Let's go with div1. Let me click on the new CSS rule button. Let me say okay. Let me go to the box category, and all that I'm going to do is I'm going to just define a 20 pixels of margin all around. Let me say okay, and that's all that I wanted to do. Let me say okay once again. Cool. After which guys, let me just select item number 1 like this. Click on the plus button. Automatically the contextual selector will be set to a compound. I'm going to create a descendant compound rule, so which is going to target the li within ul within div1 class, which is fine. And the CSS will be saved in this document only, basically creating an internal or an embedded rule. Let me say okay, and after which guys I'm going to go to the box category. I'm going to set the float to left. I'm going to say apply. Have a look out here what's exactly happening out here. Okay, see the changes that are happening. So basically all the items have been floated left, so instead of being top bottom they are now left right. Right, after which guys I'm going to go to the list category and I'm going to set the list type to none. Let me say apply, and you can actually see the bullets have actually vanished as well. Let me say okay. After which guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the code area. I'm going to select item number 1. I'm going to make it a link. I'm going to go to a link. Since I don't have a link ready, I'm temporarily going to enter a pound sign, hit enter. Have a look out here that an href attribute has been inserted, and now item number 1 is actually a link. I'm going to do the same thing with item number 2. Go down, insert a pound sign to make it a link, and same with item number 3, a pound sign, enter. Item number 4, select it, pound sign, enter. Right, now guys, have a look out here in the design area. All the 4 items are actually links. Okay, I'm gonna click anywhere where we have item number 1. I'm gonna click on the plus button. to create a new CSS rule. Again, the contextual selector automatically has been set to compound, which is just fine. Since it's a compound rule, guys, targeting a tag with an li with an ul within div1 class, okay, which is just fine. It's a descendant rule and a compound rule, internal and an embedded rule as well. I'm going to say okay. Let me define the rule. Okay, first thing, I'm going to set the font color to a white, which means that I must set the background color to a darker color, a darker shade. Let me go with the #33333, which is a very dark gray color. Let me go back to the type category. Also, guys, as I'm making changes, please have a look out here in the design area. I'm going to set the text decoration to a none. Let me hit apply, and guys, you can actually see that the underline has actually vanished. All right, the background color is the #333, and the font color is FFF, which is white. All right. Next, guys, I'm going to go to the block category. I'm going to set the display to a block. All right. Once you set the display to a block, now it will honor the width and the height properties, guys. I'm going to go to the box category. I'm going to set the width to 130, a height to a 36. I'm going to say apply once again. Have a look out here, guys. The menu bar is actually taking shape, except that item number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are not exactly where I actually want them, which means I'll need to go to the block category once again. I'm going to set the vertical alignment to, rather the text align to a center. Let me say apply, and as you can see, it's shifting to where I actually want it. Go back to the type category. I'm going to set the line height equal to the height that I declared for the anchor tag. I'm going to say apply, and guys, you can actually see that the font, the text, item 1, 2, 3, and 4 are exactly where I want them. Now I need to give a border. Let me check off these and then go with the left border. Let me set the left border to, let's say, a solid, thin, and temporarily I'm going to set it to a color which can be easily seen. Let's go with this color. Okay, only temporarily. Later on I'll change the color to a #CCC. All right. Let me say okay. Guys, have a look out here. Let me go to the live view. Guys, have a look out here. We have a border out here, out here, out here. We don't have a border out here on the right edge, but we do have a border out here. I'm not so sure whether you can see it or not, but we actually do have a border out here on the left edge. Guys, if I actually temporarily also make the thin border thick, right, you can then see this thick border out here. So the first thing that I would want to do is I would want to get rid of this border on the left hand side. Okay, rest all the borders I'm going to keep just the way it is, right? So let's see how I can actually do that. Let me save the changes up first. Cool. Let me click on the plus button to create a new CSS rule. Let me set the contextual selector to a class. I'm going to create a class. Let me give it a name of no border. All right. Let me say okay. Let me go to the border category and check these boxes off, and I'm going to say none to the left border. Let me say okay, and guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first anchor tag like this, and I'm going to apply the class no border. And let me go to the live view. Guys, you can see that although I've applied the class no border to the leftmost anchor tag or the link, the left border has actually not vanished. And I'll tell you why this is happening. This is happening because of a conflict. Through the third rule, I'm actually telling that I want a left border. Through the fourth, I'm actually telling that I don't want it. So there's a conflict, and in which case this rule is actually winning, and this rule is actually losing out to the one that is just preceding it. In which case, how do I actually make sure that clashes can sometimes happen, and when clashes do happen, it's a little complex, right now to explain. Sometimes, it is not necessary that the rule that comes in the end always wins. That's not always the case. Okay, different rules have different weightages, and in this case the third rule actually takes the precedence over the fourth rule. So what should I do to actually make the fourth rule take precedence over the third rule? I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to go to line number 28. I'm going to make a slight change to the border left style none rule. I'm going to make it an important rule like this, right? And guys, now you can notice that the the left edge, the border on the left edge has actually disappeared. Very cool. Okay, so maybe something new for you, how to make a rule important in terms of whenever there's a situation where there's a clash, you can make a rule very important so that it will override the other rule. Cool. Now I'm going to set the border the way I actually want it. I'm going to go back to the third rule, go to the border category. I'm going to set it to £CC. So basically this £CC is a mild gray color. Let me say okay. Before that, let me change the thick to a thin. This is the way I actually wanted it. Guys, you can actually see the borders are exactly the way I want them. Okay, there's no border out here on the left hand side edge. Okay, basically I'm pretty happy with the way the things look like right now. Let me create one more rule. I'm going to click on this plus button, rather cancel it. I'm going to select let me go with the live view. Let me select item number 1. Let me click on the plus button and select compound. Guys, it's actually targeting let me make a change out here. I want to target div1 ul li a : Hava. Okay, basically the link tags, the links in the Hava state. Okay, it's a compound descendant rule targeting the links. Let me say okay. Again, creating an internal or an embedded rule. Let me go to the background. Let me go to the background color. Let me select let's say a £666. Let me say okay, and let me show you how this actually makes a difference. Let me go to the live view. Let me hover over the items, and guys, you can actually see that when you hover over the 4 different items, the background color actually changes. Cool. Now the only thing that I'm left with is to create round edges for the extreme left and the extreme right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 more classes. Okay, click on the plus button. I'm going to create a class called left edge. Okay, let me say okay, and okay once again. I'm not going to define it out here. I'll tell you why. Let me click on left edge and add a property here instead. I'm using a CSS3 property which I cannot add through the dialog box. I have to add it like this. So I must say border radius. Okay, hit enter and click on the plus button. Check this off. Left top 8 pixels, left bottom 8 pixels, and now after that, now that I've actually created the rule, what I need to do is let me go to line number 42. All right, and after the class no border, let me give it a space. All right, and add one more class called left edge. All right, so basically 2 classes separated by a space. Let's see how that actually affects. So when I click out here, you can actually notice that it has affected item number 1 in such a way that the extreme left edge is now rounded. Okay, now I'm going to click on the plus button to create one more rule. Okay, let me make it a class, and let me give it a name, right edge, and let me say okay, and okay once again, because I cannot add it through the dialog box. Let me click on the right edge rule, add a property down below here, and the property is a CSS3 property. Is called border radius. Okay, guys, I want you to check the reference as to how which all browsers border radius is actually supported. It's actually supported quite pretty well, except that for IE, I think it starts with IE9. All right, so let me click out here, come off this checkbox, check it off, and this time top right 8, bottom right 8, hit enter. Okay, and then what I need to do is let me highlight this bit. Right, go down here, give it a class of right edge. Guys, you can actually see that now even the link tag or the link on the extreme right has a rounded corner. So basically I have my navigation of the menu bar ready. When I hover over it, actually changes the background color. It has a border only where I actually want it, and it has the left and the right edges around it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on a pure CSS navigation bar. I hope to see you very soon. You have a good day, guys. Bye bye. Peace.